since Mr. Remigio is so concerned with who's supporting me, I'd like him to comment on the fact that, according to his treasurer's report, 82% of his campaign contributions are coming from outside the city of Lake Worth.
Yes, thank you, Rachel. I have the privilege of being supported by a lot of community leaders here in Palm Beach County. They're behind my campaign because they've watched what has happened with the lack of leadership in Lake Worth, and they want to see Lake Worth get back on track, so they are 100% behind me.
If you become mayor, how will you deal with all the multiple or diverse community in Lake Worth? How will you bring them into the fold in the political process?
And also, the candidates are not required to answer these questions if they do not like. So. We'll go left to right since it was a question for all.
Well, I think it's important that we are inclusive, that this community continues to be inclusive. We actually are probably the most inclusive community in America, and that is a strength for Lake Worth. I would have monthly meetings with community leaders of every organization, of every ethnicity, and I would include them in my monthly meetings, and I would include them in the process of how we're going to move Lake Worth forward. So I think it's a good idea, and I would be in favor of meeting with everybody from all different groups.
I think it's important for people to know that I speak 3 languages fluently, and I have the capacity to directly connect with different groups of people. Thank you.
Unfortunately, our city commission has an abysmal record of appointing any kind of diversity to our city boards. I mean, that's a great place to start with our own city organizations and boards. And I would encourage people to apply from all of the various communities that we have. You know, we spend time in our community talking about chickens and Arizona and all these things that have absolutely nothing to do with our city. And we have a wonderful breadth of people here and talent here that we are not tapped into. So I would make that definitely a priority.
Specific candidate question, if you'd like to ask all 3 of the candidates a question.
I'd like to ask all 3 candidates a question, and that would be, we have such division in the city. We have been at wars, battles for the last, at least I know of, since 2002 when I moved here. It's very divisive at City Hall, and we have a community that has very deep problems right now. We're at a very critical juncture in our city's history. How would you unite this community around our problems and start solving them?
Yeah, I agree with you, Lisa. This is really part of the problem in Lake Worth, is that we're so divisive that, for example, we have one beach redevelopment project, and then the commission switches, and we have a new commission come in, and they stop the beach project, and they start with their own project. We've had all these starts and stops for many years. But a way to do that is to bring calm to the commission. I think I would have the ability, I believe, as your mayor, to be able to bridge the gap between the 2 groups. Seeing as I'm not really supported by either group, I think I would be able to really bridge the gap between the 2 groups.
I think Ms. Maxwell is exactly right that the boards is a perfect place to start. Unfortunately, until you go to the people and meet them where they are now, they will not be comfortable to come forth and even volunteer to be on a board. So therein again lies, I think, my particular